NiP more passive here, going to be slowing things down once again. Alu does get that first pick on the Flamey though, that's definitely going to help. That's
the start they need, absolutely. They've yet, I think that actually maybe the first time all game they found a pick early in B because, again, most times they're trying to go for that split. There's still 2 members alive in this night. Now they've got a real chance because the one in mid's gone. There's 3 left alive. And Seized has to watch both angles. His first rotation has already fallen. He still might get this kill, though. It's low HP on Freiburg, so that's a brilliant trade for him to pick up. Gap in the smoke, doesn't matter. Freiburg finds Zeus through it. Brilliantly placed headshot. And NiP, with whatever fight is left in them, managed to pick up their 3rd round.
I think they're relying very heavily on someone stepping up at the beginning of the round. So Navi now going to throw a spanner in the works. Edwards going to be getting the auto sniper, Guardian on Orb, and Seized as well. So 3 sniper rivals to contend with. I'm sure they're going to go for a little face here towards middle. They want to try and find that first pick. Seized is going to be the one doing it. Going to be looking over that smoke. Will he be able to make anything of it? Here we go. Oh, just misses out there narrowly. No NiP. Once again, slowing things down. That aggressive push, though, onto short from Guardian. Looking for a pick towards top and middle. Got to be flashed off. NiP being very passive once again. Trying to work the picks. But no one really committing to anything as of yet. It's going to be Guardian on the short steps.
The auto sniper from Edward out toward long now. Means that with that much extra firepower, they can fall another man back towards CT. Great pick, though, mind you, from Alu, because, again, it gives them something to work with. Nading and using utilities to distill Guardian's position on Catwalk as well means there's less support still for Zeus. So he's going to try and cleverly find himself in a passive-aggressive approach behind the doorway. Wait for them to walk into his crosshairs. But NiP, knowing that they've pushed Guardian back, are going to try and take control of at least Catwalk and open the round up slowly.
Well, no reaction from the CTs just yet. They're going to be sitting back. They're going to be trying to challenge Guardian as well. Exist makes his way up short. They have Molotov on the side, trying to flush out any CTs that may be lying there. And there's the first pick. Guardian does it. And now he should be able to open up the taps as well. Forest does take down Zeus. They need to find this kill onto Guardian if they've got any chance of getting onto this side. Not going to happen though.
Quickly up on top. Bye-bye Alu, and a potential for more. Guardian finally goes down, but Edward, there it is. The auto sniper catches Get Right, and look at the HP. It's 1 for Forest, 38 for Freiburg. Although they've got a bomb down, this is going to be a very grim situation. Edward with that auto sniper, it won't take much at all to completely blow this round wide open. He's going to try and approach because he has to. But great pick from Forest. He needed that unorthodox spot from Quad. He actually does take down Flamey, but Edward, he's still with the auto sniper. It's not going to work out. Freiburg will give NiP a real chance, but they're going to need the next pistol.
Absolutely. So 2 rounds. Scrappy as they were, they get the 4th on the board. So Freiburg with 1 HP just about saves the day there. Edward unable to make that close range auto sniper work out for him. So there still is some sort of hope for NiP. It's not the worst result in the world. They do have a strong CT half on Dust 2. We've seen that time and time again this tournament. So if ever there's a time for a bit of NiP magic, Matt, this is it. Second half potentially going out of this tournament in tragic style. So they need to wake up, get this pistol and build momentum, get the cash roll strong and see what they can do with this one. Be interesting to see how they approach a pistol. Obviously, we've got a lot of teams boosting up to short, going towards that mid area, but that can obviously be very risky as well. A lot of teams expecting that these days. I'm sure they'll be utilizing this 1 minute they've got just to decipher what they'll do and how they'll approach this round.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is another... We already saw 1 timeout from NiP. This is essentially a second one. They need to take all the time they can to make sure they're all on the same page. As you're saying, this pistol round...
means everything.
It is everything. It's completely everything. There's a lot of doubt about this lineup's future in general coming into the event, and a lot of people started speculating that, well, if they can get results, maybe that might not change, but obviously still some issues, not necessarily perfect, and coming up a little short here, it would mean a lot, I'm sure, not only to individual players, but to the team cohesion to try and pick up something out of this semifinal, to try and salvage at least pride, if nothing else, at this point.
Yes, this is it. Well, unfortunately for NiP, Get Right, one of the players you expect to be one of the trademark best fraggers on the team. He's on 3 for 13. He needs to step up right now. They're going to have a chance even getting back into this one. He needs to work out what's going wrong, get himself in these positions where he can actually start clutching, getting the frags on the side, and that's going to be a huge factor going into this one. Obviously, on the T side, Guardian becomes a whole lot scarier. He goes from being defensive onto the offensive, and it can be very, very scary indeed. So watch out for him as we go into the second half now. Navi on the T side, NiP on the CTs. Everything to play for. They've got 4 sets of armor on the CTs and a diffuse kit on Freiburg. Let's have a look at the T-Buy as well. They're going to have something a little bit more tactical. 3 sets of armor. Zeus and Steve's picking up smoke grenades and flashbangs. Maybe going towards long here. As Two players make their way into the doors as well.
And the three players are at long now. They're going to approach, but there's a crossfire set, and we're seeing it now. Freiburg and Alu both ready. Freiburg just needs to keep their attention to bait them out, and Alu just needs to bide his time and stay patient. Exist is going to rotate over to help as well because Freiburg spotted up all three players. So this is going to be a duel. This is everything, and Alu spotted already. Doesn't hit the shot. Edward gets him. He actually just turned at the last minute, and although they're blinded up, they're falling back off of this early pick. They don't need to throw this away, and it's forcing NiP back towards CT spawn, and on the way there, Zeus, he's caught Exist in the process.
Now, they have done a reasonable amount of damage. 4 players, very low indeed, so NiP not out of this round just yet. But the problem is they haven't got control of long whatsoever. They're going to have to push off short, hold middle as well, and see if they can retake the bomb site. Just depends on what Navi are going to do here. They're going back towards middle, just going to leave one player towards the pit. That's going to be Guardian. That's going to be now and Get Right on short. Had a quiet game, as mentioned before. He should be able to work out what's going on here. He's going to get some sort of intel any second.
Well, they are stacking here as well. Bomb in mid. One player over inside the B tunnels. That's Edward. They're low enough on HP that if they could get a lineup, if somehow another crossfire could come into play, it might work out. In fact, Get Right. He's already faked down Zeus. He's going to get Guardian as well. Now it's time to step up for Get Right. Back to 3 versus 3, and he's hearing them go through middle, so he's going to try and catch it on their heels. He's going to try and catch Flamey before he gets too far up the ramp, but as he gets up the ramp, it's Freiburg. He runs into it. Freiburg, he needed to hit that shot. It was desperate, and it all comes back to Navi, and that's awkward as well, but Get Right finds the hat trick. He wants more. Get Right will get 4, and Forrest will close it out. That is the round that NiP needed.
Fantastic stuff from the Get Right. Just when he needed to pull out a big performance, he does it. 3 frags, and the low coming in from tunnels as well. Finishes the round off. Some awkward exchanges there towards the B tunnels. A little bit of nerve showing there perhaps, but there we go. NiP are back into this one. It seemed like they were out of it. First 2 frags going against them, but that fantastic showing from Get Right keeps the dream alive. But now then, we have got the force buy coming in from Navi. Scout purchase, 4 Eagles as well. Let's see what they can do with this.
That early tag just narrowly, imagine, skimmed the hair off the scalp in that shot, just above the head, not connecting. It's Flamey on the other side holding the scout with 54 HP. And they'll change their approach. Alu doesn't want to overextend himself in middle, give away an early pick carelessly. They need to be as disciplined every bit so as Navi was in this first half.
Yeah, that's the whole thing here. They have got the SMGs though, Exist and Freiburg with P90s and then P9s respectively, so they're going to be holding back, as you said, but here comes Navi. They're pushing their way up short. Guardian going to be the point man here. Facing with the scout towards the bomb site. Alu's going to have the same weapon towards Car as well. This is where the duel's going to come in. Who's going to take advantage here?
Freiburg, the MP9, close range. He's desperate for someone to walk through, and they look poised to do so. How much can he get with the gun? Nothing at all. Edward, what a shot with the Deagle. And now Alu's trapped at Car. 3 members approaching from long. He needs to win this duel. Doesn't. Flamey takes him down. And oh my goodness, could you imagine? After doing all the hard work, NiP, they're staring at an eco. A force buy that may yet pay off for Navi as Forrest, he ascends upon the ramp. A flashbang to try and deter him, but he still manages to dodge it and get the kill. But Guardian's right back on Get Right. Forrest has to clutch this out. He can't do it. Seized. And Navi, they'll get yet another one.
Disastrous.
And this is getting, yeah, absolutely desperate.
I don't even know what NiP can do with this one now. They probably have to force buy into it, get some 5.7s, some P250 if they can catch Navi when they don't have too much of an arsenal. They're going to have SMGs. They have purchased some AKs as well, though. Here comes the force buy from NiP. Going to have 5.7s, Desert Eagles, armor, but not much utility. Going to have a difficult time crossing towards B there. 3 players committed towards long. Same for Navi as well. Here comes the exchange. About the fires going on. And Seas and Flamey taking out Exist and Freiburg. Alu gets 1, but it's going to be the advantage going in favor of Navi here. Should be a pretty simple round from this point. And also forcing NiP onto a full eco next round.
Push through the smoke. Flash did catch them off, but not sufficient enough for them to allow a kill. Let's Get Right in Forest. If they could pick up 1 there, might have had a small chance. It's not to be. Get Right, he's about to get pushed from mid as well, and it's Edward that does so. 13. 3 to go. Navi looking for, again, that first berth, excuse me, in a major final.
Well, they're very close now. Touching distance, I would say. Seeing as NiP have this disastrous situation now, about 2k average across the board. Can't really justify force buying into this one. They need to allow Navi to the 14th round and then try and make the gun rounds really work for them. So not even going to purchase anything whatsoever into this round. It's almost a throwaway round as we go into number 19. Navi are definitely aware of the situation. Look at NiP, they're pushing off towards short. If they're going to need to make a pick here happen right now. They actually headshot Zeus, take him down as well. Is there a chance for this round as they keep going towards the top of middle?
And Edward, he just walks out and
There
lines
it
them
is.
up, sees the one tap onto Forrest. Not really much of a chance, despite that first pick. So now it's just Get Right and Exist, and they're split up right now. One on either side. Good push from Exist to try and force the issue. Had to do something, had to come up with something brilliant and off-key to make sure that it worked out, but it's not to be. And Guns will come back out, but again, this is going to be desperate and very narrow margin on how much they're going to be able to afford for utility on the CT side.
This is the thing. They've got no incendiaries. No. Oh, Get Right gets one kit. He's on the Famas, though. Only saving grace is they have got Alu on the AWP. He needs to go big. He did get some impressive picks on train. Similar performance required. Going to be sending 3 players towards long here, but maybe the wrong position considering the T's look like they're setting up for a more mid play here.
Guardian's going to try and get above the smoke as well toward middle with the AWP. He may yet spot a player because, if I'm not mistaken, it is Forrest that's in the top of mid right now. And look like he may go back down toward that slope instead. Rather than he going down, they brought Exist over. So they'll set the crossfire. This means Exist needs to get the read, though, because if the pressure comes on to Catwalk like it's looking it may do, Alu's going to need all the help he can get with this AWP. And right now, his attention's not even fixed on the Catwalk. It was still through looking for mid. So for some reason, NiP, they seem to believe that's exactly what Na'Vi want to do.
That's the thing, though. They've got no smokes. No HEs, just 2 flashbangs to try and hold off this full execution. We know how methodical and tactical Na'Vi can be. Just going to be allowing Guardian to scope out some of the key areas of A bomb site. And you assume it's going to be an execution here. As Edward is towards long, they'll be pincering the site, it seems. Are we setting some sort of distraction there? Will he be going out with the smoke as well? He will. So his teammate's going to join him. Prime are going to have a real difficult time holding this one. He goes down, headshot from the hand of Edward. Alu forced to rotate back towards long as well. He's stuck in the smoke. This is a horrible scenario for him.
It may not be, though. Cease doesn't know this. They may go right past him. He has the potential to backstab them now, but he needs to make sure he's efficient on his shots. Finds one, and he gets 2. Well done from Alu, but it's Guardian on top of the site that turns his focus firmly on Alu. How heartbreaking. It looked like that could have been an absolutely concealed smoke and mirrors play, and now it will be semi-final point for Na'Vi.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see this game going any other way than Navi's favor. It's just a matter of time. Obviously, NiP have no choice here but to buy everything they can. Pistols, shotguns, anything you can find in the basement. Let's get it out. As they get an MP7 onto Freiberg as well. That play from Alu, like he said, could have done something with it. Got 2 frags, just wasn't enough. Needed to find 3 at least. And now 3 AWPs coming out from Na'Vi. So they're just going to be playing a very slow picking game here. Obviously, the CTs need to make something happen. They're getting close to the B tunnels. Forrest trying to spam through the smoke there. Not going to amount to much, though.
Interesting, we haven't seen a lot of attack or rather aggression at the B tunnels from either side, and usually if there's not on the T side, you might expect the CTs to start pushing it, but NiP never really took that initiative to go on the hunt for information early or try and get that map control. They tried to stay just, again, maybe playing a little bit timid in this situation inside this site, and they're down a man already.
Oh, it's just a matter of time this round. They're just waiting for the CTs to make the mistakes, so they know they need to do something. They've got pistols. No nades. They need to be finding a frag here, and Na'Vi are well aware of that. Just gaining positional control of short. Getting calls to certain positions are covered. You can see Edward as well. Back in T's spawn, looking towards long doors, waiting for any sort of aggression coming in from the CTs. And if NiP are to stay alive in this tournament, someone has to go absolutely huge.
Good dink in the tunnels, but it doesn't amount to a kill. This does get down C's. For NiP, Forrest, he's got another one. It's got to go down. Where's the shot? Zeus, he's expended all his ammo, and it comes very narrowly against him, but he does end up getting the kill. Follow that up. He's got Forrest as well. It's down to Alu, one-on-one with Flamey. 22 HP for Flamey. That bomb's in mid. Alu doesn't know this, but if he did, oh my goodness, he could have snuck up, and the shotgun at that range would have been more than enough for him to win the round. Instead, that's been recovered, and he's going to have to play a retake. Swaps over to the AK. Give himself a much better chance. More of a range game in doing so. 6 seconds. Flamey's got to hold this. Alu still has a chance to go in on it, but he's not. Flamey didn't hold it. This is all over. Flamey expected Alu to try and go in, and that actually was too much mind game from Flamey and gives NiP the round.
To be fair, though, what does it matter? You can see NiP still don't really have enough to buy into the round. Flamey keeping his gun, took the weapon off of Alu as well. It's a really nice play from Alu, well read, didn't commit to going in and potentially losing the round, so he knew the situation, read it well, but headline is Na'Vi still are on semi-final points here, and now then the more desperate bite continues here. Famas's, P90s and Mag 7s. A recipe for disaster, I would say, but they're holding on just about.
Additional smoke applied inside the B tunnels. But again, Na'Vi makes no sense trying to read exactly what they're up to because they're just going to take their time, as always.
So they are making presence towards mid. There are 4 people there committed as well. There's one player that's watching long for the push.
Now
I'd assume they're going to just walk out and try and smoke off towards B, it seems, and maybe try and bait a CT spawn play coming in.
Yeah, it looks like they did take a step forward. Get Right didn't spot it. There's 2 members past the door. They've since fallen back, and it looks like Catwalk's where they'll go. There's no one on the A platform because they're putting a double stack toward the long position right now, so it actually would mean they have to essentially play a retake to claim their own territory back from Na'Vi as Guardian gets further around the corner. Get Right is below with that shotgun, but he's got to nail a jump shot, and he's going to get spotted up doing so. Flamey's saw that coming the whole time. And then Molotov Goose as well. They shouldn't need to check it. Flamey will just in case, but it's again, the perimeters. That's all they have to work with right now from NiP. Sees will take down Exist. Flamey with another. It's going to be this round. It's got to be all over. It's down to Freiburg. 1 versus 5. And NiP, well, they may have surprised us, but they will not make it to yet another final. It's Na'Vi on their first appearance against Envious.
It's a shame we finished like that, man. We expect the semi-finals to be the most climactic games of the entire tournament. Honestly, NiP, not the same team they were yesterday. They get absolutely destroyed on both maps. They're 16-6. Never really seemed like they were going to do any better than that. Unfortunate, but congratulations to Alice Sincere. Looking very strong indeed, and they will join Envy in the grand final.
And what an exciting prospect that is. The man on your screen right now, Guardian, head-to-head with Kenny S.
That's going to be great.
And although Envious, when they were formed as LDLC in the former organization, has won a major, Kenny never has, and Guardian's in that same position, so that's going to be a display that you will not want to miss. That specific matchup is exciting in itself.
Hopefully that final goes all the way. It's going to be another best-of-3 series going forward. We'd like to see that one go to 3 maps, but...
3 maps with 3 overtimes in each map.
That's what we need.
Would be perfect, but well, I mean, it's a matter of what we get from Na'Vi, because obviously in this game they showed a ton of class, a ton of performance, and sometimes that's been in question. And going against a form like Envy, who are a favorite in this tournament, they're going to have to play their best. Paul standing by with Guardian.
Congratulations, a fabulous victory. Words can't describe really how great a victory that was, but can you try and sum it up for me, how you're feeling right now?
I'm quite happy. We finally fixed all our communication problems, and yeah, we've done a great job. And I mean, we haven't made so many mistakes, even though there were some mistakes, but yeah, we were the better team today.
Yeah, much better as well. And as you said, you've had a couple of days where things haven't worked very well, and yet you've somehow won, continued to win, and then got to the semi-final. When it all comes together, we finally see the brilliance that you were talking about and how big Na'Vi are. Obviously, playing NiP in a major, it's always tricky, but did you feel maybe they didn't play as well as they should?
Of course, some of the players underperformed, I think, and yeah, I mean, we were shooting our hits and they didn't, I would say.
But you obviously were playing very well. Tell me what it means to Na'Vi and to the players. You've wanted this for so long right now. What does it mean to finally make a major final?
Well, we've been playing a lot past 2 months, like 10 hours per day, and we wanted to be in the finals at least. Now it's something we cannot describe, and yeah, hopefully it will be a successful day for us. So yeah, we are happy.
All right, well, congratulations, well done. And we will see you in the grand final. Ladies and gentlemen, Na'Vi are our second finalist.
And thanks a lot for that, Paul. Hugely impressive performance there, and fortunately, it now means you've only got 2 bald idiots on the desk.
You know, they say good things come to those that wait, Richard.
But I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room. I mean, how do you go from dominating TSM in the fashion that you do, unthinkable, to capitulating like that against Na'Vi?
Almost like someone overperformed. No, I mean, you have to look at it at 2 ends of the spectrum here. The TSM performance was a massive overperformance. Yeah, you can say like back to their best and all the rest of it. That was a different world when they were on top, back when they were all wrecking like that, and Freiburg could drop 30 kills and Exist could body on T-side. That was kind of out of the blue, that performance there. This one here, admittedly, this isn't their normal performance. This was below. I mean, they had real big problems. And what's funny is what they did to Titan earlier in the tournament, where once they'd wrecked Titan on the first map, well, close one. The second one, they just gave up. It looked like NiP gave up on the Dust 2 game this time.
Well, it looked like NiP were basically a TSM yesterday, and now we're that NiP. Yeah. Missing shots left and right, not really doing anything together, just getting wrecked completely. I think that Guardian and Flamey had like a total of 50 frags after like 14 rounds on train.
This is the part that Esk I'm most looking forward to. Moses?
Well,
I'm not gonna sit around.
Tell you what, Moses.
For
the first time in here, I'm just going to spare your blushes. We've got Sir Scoots ready with an interview with that Guardian.
Absolutely not worthy. You know, Thorin called it. He said you were going to have a phenomenal series. You absolutely did. As a team, you absolutely did. Both maps, you start 7-0 runs. You blanked them several times on the first map, and the second map, you blanked them 5 rounds. Started out 7 rounds in. After the 7th round, they only had 6 kills total.
Well, that's something we actually I didn't see personally, so I don't know how many frags did they have. But yeah, it feels good, and finally the communication was on the top level. Nobody was trash talking in game, and finally I would say when we are communicating in the right way, then we can play calm game, and that happened now.
Again, I don't really, there's not really much to break down. I mean, it was consistent. They would get a gun round off you here and there, but you would always turn it right back around again by blanking them or shutting them down. I think one of the things that does stand out is obviously your own personal play. I know that you said to Red Eye that you guys have a team has been practicing about 10 hours a day. What about yourself personally? What kind of time are you putting in away from team?
Well, like last month I was playing until 5 a.m. and then waking up like 8 or 9 a.m. and playing, I don't know, against bots or FPLs or some mixes. So me personally, I was putting a lot of time into it, and finally I hope I can carry my team to the finals. No, we are in the finals already, not to the championship title. So yeah, we will see, and I hope I can do it.
Now let's talk about the finals. Tale of 2 teams coming into this finals. You just now had a fairly easy road into it. Envious, on the other hand, scrapping and battling for their life in the first semifinals. Did you get a chance to watch much of that?
Yeah, I've been watching the game, and I'm quite sad for G2 because they had so many advantages. I mean, like on Inferno in overtime, it was 3-0 to them, and then 5v3 they lost the round. And I would say this was the key round that they lost, and probably they lost the game. So I mean, they played really well, and I'm quite sad for them. And facing Envy, it will be different game than in group stage, because group stage is the first game. So yeah, I hope we will do better than we did.
So obviously, Opper to Opper. Any words for Kenny S?
I don't know because we are rivals. We like to play each other, but I would say it will be about the respect. And who shows the less respect, then that sniper will win, I would say.
All right, thank you very much. Congratulations on making your first grand final of a major. That's going to do it for us in the mixed zone. Commercial break, and then the boys will break it down, although there's not a whole lot to talk about.